there are many celebrities out there who are obviously very outspoken on political issues, and they definitely have their opinions. Now there are a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters that are celebrities. The likes of Tim Robbins is one of them. Susan Sarandon, Danny Glover, not Joe Pesci. What's that guy's name? Fuck, I forgot his name. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is another one. I think that's it. I can't really think of that many others. What's her name? Cardi B. She's a singer. Cardi B is not a singer. She's a rapper, female rapper. She supports Bernie Sanders. Killer Mike. He's also a rapper from Atlanta, Georgia. He's a big supporter of Bernie. Cornel West, if you want to consider him a celebrity, he's an academic though. He's a very smart guy. He's a great guy, great progressive. He's a supporter of Bernie. Yeah, so like there are a lot of people out there that are supporting Bernie Sanders, but of course there are a lot of people that are, rich, celebrities. They donate a lot of money to the campaigns and to the politicians that they love. There's people like Tom Hanks out there, Sean Penn. Who else is there? There's a bunch of singers. What was one of them? I think one of them was I want to say Garth Brooks. No, somebody, I don't know. There was this couple of like a couple of Hollywood directors, I think, that are big fans of like Kamala Harris. A lot of these people, like George Clooney is a big supporter of Hillary Clinton, was a big supporter of hers back in the 2016 campaign. He got called out for that a lot. Yeah, but in general, there's a lot of people out there that just like love these celebrities out there that just love fucking, these establishment type candidates, and they've been donating a lot of money to them too. Especially even Pete Buttigieg, who's, the only gay presidential candidate running right now, and like a lot of celebrities are donating money to him in droves. And there was a CNN segment that was recently talking about it, where Kyle Klinsky from Secular Talk covered it, and he was talking about how they were just like, covering the whole issue as if it's like, oh my God, all these wonderful celebrities giving money to these politicians. It's totally great. And wow, they're so invested in these people. So anyway, before I go on any more of a tangent here, there's an article here about, it's from Yahoo News, and it's titled, Kathy Griffin Takes Aim at Bernie Sanders Supporters. They're like Trumpers. So Kathy Griffin is like this big time resistance type, whatever person, female, obviously a person that's involved in like kind of this movement of like just being like anti any non-woman candidate basically. And a lot of them obviously hate Bernie Sanders because he faced Hillary Clinton in 2016, and they blame him for costing the election win for Hillary Clinton, which is ridiculous and fucking absurd based on no evidence, even though he campaigned for her over 40 times, and supported her and endorsed her and all that shit. But Kathy Griffin is one of the annoying and intolerable ones. So in this article, she fucking goes off on Bernie supporters and shit here. And let's get into it, and then we'll discuss it. So it says, Kathy Griffin is all in for a female candidate, or a female president, during a Build series interview, I don't know what that is, on July 18th to promote her new documentary, Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story. The comedian did not shy away from giving her opinion on the field of 2020 Democratic presidential candidates. I want a female president before I die, okay? I don't care if I'm on life support. With a freaking tracheotomy? I'm sorry, I have no idea who that is. And a feeding tube. I want a female president, so I'm just so torn between Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. Big surprise. I wish there could be like a double presidency without a VP. I just think they're both amazing. She also added that she loved Amy Klobuchar and Senator Amy Klobuchar and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. It says Griffin's attitude toward the male candidates in the Democratic field, especially Bernie Sanders, was not as positive. Shocker. It makes me sad that Bernie and Joe are polling so much higher than these women, and I know that dog whistle, she said. It's even women who are afraid to vote for women. Griffin clarified her feelings on Sanders before commenting on his tenure in the Senate as well as her experience with his supporters. I don't believe Bernie's ever passed a bill. I don't like the Bernie bros. I'm sorry. They're like Trumpers. They come at me and they threaten me in the same way, and I don't like that base. I don't like and I don't trust. Griffin is hoping a female candidate pulls through. We're so behind, it's about time, and we have a great stable, she said. Remember, the ones that don't win, they're going to return and be wonderful senators and congressmen. Griffin also weighed in on the squad of freshman congresswomen who are currently the targets of President Trump Twitter tirades. Griffin is baffled this week at the rhetoric surrounding the group. I don't think of them as far left extremists at all, she explained. According to Griffin, critics sincerely calling members of the squad comprised of Representative Ilhan Omar, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Representative Rashida Tlaib, and Representative Ayanna Pressley socialists have never been to a socialist country. Griffin pointed out that even Trump supporters want policies like Medicare-for-all as long as it isn't called Obamacare. Griffin says she hopes to see the group of 4 women expand. I think the 4 of them are hope. She said, I don't think they're the division of the party. So that last part is actually kind of surprising. I'm surprised she didn't say that they need to get groomed and work within the party and, shit like that. But her attack on Bernie supporters is ridiculous, as usual. She's just one of many to go after Bernie Sanders supporters, at least. Well, there isn't a ton of celebrities that go after Bernie Sanders supporters outside of like her, Sarah Silverman, who apparently loves Elizabeth Warren, and she attacked the Bernie supporters at the DNC in 2016. Deborah Messing is also a big supporter of kind of the Hillary Clinton type politicians. Chrissy Teigen is another one. Chrissy Teigen is the wife of John Legend, singer John Legend. I think he's an actor too, yeah, philanthropist and everything, yeah. So Chrissy Teigen is another one that has gone at it with Bernie supporters as well and attacked Bernie Sanders, although not as virulently as like the likes of Griffin and Deborah Messing and a couple of others. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on some of the biggest anti-Bernie celebrities out there, but definitely Deborah Messing and Kathy Griffin are the 2 biggest ones. Deborah Messing despises Susan Sarandon because she supported Bernie Sanders and then supported Jill Stein in 2016, which is ironic when these people call, Bernie Sanders supporters and Bernie bros sexist and stuff, even though a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters went and either supported Hillary Clinton or supported Jill Stein, which is 2 different women, but they went and supported women. So how are they sexist? Makes no sense, as usual with these idiots. But, it's unsurprising to see this kind of bullshit from the likes of these, resistance types and these people that just like to, smear away anybody that dares to call out the establishment. Ultimately that's what it comes down to. It comes out to calling out Kamala Harris, calling out Amy Klobuchar. The fact that she likes Amy Klobuchar instead of Kirsten Gillibrand. And notice, Kathy Griffin, because she's got a fucking cinder block for a brain, she didn't point out any policies until the very end where she said that, the thing is, she didn't bring up policy, like, for example, the policy of Medicare-for-all, when referring to the candidates that are running. She only referred to it when referring to the squad, so referring to AOC, Tlaib, Pressley, and Ilhan Omar. So, yeah, I'm glad to see that those people, those 4 progressives, are known as, known for the policy of Medicare for all and progressive policies. And she's talking about, the people that call them socialists don't really know what a socialist is, and they're totally uneducated on what socialism is and living in a socialist country, all that stuff. Never been to a socialist country. But notice, when she brings up the favorite candidates that she has, the people that she's fawning over, she doesn't mention any policy for them. So what policy does Amy Klobuchar believe in, Kathy Griffin? Please tell us. What makes Amy Klobuchar a wonderful candidate? What makes Kirsten Gillibrand a wonderful candidate? Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. Tell us one thing that you support that they are pushing for. Tell us. And tell us how that policy is better than Bernie Sanders. You're not going to know. You're not going to come up with anything. At least you're not going to come up with anything that's better than Bernie Sanders. Maybe you know their policies, maybe you don't. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Kathy Griffin, because I'm not an asshole, and I'll assume that you have at least one policy that you like from one of those candidates. At least when there's 4 of them right there. There must be something you like from them. Maybe you like their shitty college debt plan. Maybe you like the fact that they love the public option and not Medicare-for-all. Maybe. But, and that would be good. At least you'd be honest about what you prefer. But don't call yourself a progressive. Don't call yourself, a liberal. You're just a centrist, pro-establishment Democrat, corporate Democrat. And because you're a rich fucking celebrity yourself, obviously that's what you're going to push for. You're not going to push for anything that's actually progressive and that's actually things that people in this country want. You just want things that are just going to be pragmatic and centrist and corporatist. But yeah, so and this is the thing. Honestly, if you talk to a lot of celebrities out there, especially the types that are donating hundreds of thousands of dollars, however many thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of dollars to these candidates and then doing fundraisers and stuff for them, which is fundraisers can be as ridiculously expensive as possible, up to like $10,000, I think sometimes. But those people, they don't care about the issues. So the people that are fundraising and giving money to these politicians, I would love to hear them talk about one fucking issue that they agree with, that they agree with ex-politician, ex-candidate on. So why do you support Kamala Harris? Why do you, why are you giving, I would love to ask them. I literally will get a microphone, go to some event that they're out there somewhere, and then just go up to them and ask them, why do you support Kamala Harris? Why do you support, Elizabeth Warren, Kirsten Gillibrand? Why did you support Hillary Clinton in 2016? I guarantee you, a majority of the time they will say that I hate Donald Trump, which is fine, but I hate Donald Trump, and I don't want Donald Trump to be president. That's it. So if you really if you really want to go to the end of essentially the end of that conclusion, go to the end of the road, reach the furthest and best conclusion. If you don't want Donald Trump to become president, you would support Bernie Sanders. You know why? Because Bernie Sanders, not only was he polling ahead of Donald Trump for the general election during the primary. And even when the primary was over, he was still polling ahead of him. Not only was he polling ahead of Donald Trump, but he was polling by double digits ahead of Trump. And what did the Democratic establishment do? What did the anti-Bernie people, the pro-Hillary people say? What did the centrist Democrats and corporatists and establishment say? Oh no, we need Hillary Clinton because she's totally going to beat Donald Trump because she's very experienced and she's totally qualified and she's been around forever and everybody loves her. And we need a female president as candidate, a female candidate as president, and that's totally what we need. That's totally the direction that we should be going into, that we should be going towards, because that's what our country needs. So nothing about policy, nothing about change the country for the better. Because at the time, you got to remember, we had Obama, so we didn't have a right-wing president. Technically, a lot of people, including myself, would consider Obama to be right-wing. But to be fair, we didn't have a Republican president. We didn't have like a George Bush type candidate in there who was like pushing for the same George Bush policies, although on foreign policy he was. So. But, Obama was the exact same thing as Bush on every single policy 100%. But on many policies, Obama was a lot like Bush, and he was very right-wing. Hillary Clinton would have been more right-wing than Obama, and she would have done the same things as Obama, if not worse. I even predicted that she might have challenged and possibly gone to war with Iran, which Trump is doing right now. I predicted before Hillary, before the whole election happened, leading up to, election day and everything, the whole going through the primary process, everything. I thought Hillary Clinton would actually possibly challenge challenge Iran and possibly go to war with them because she's that desperate to please her, to please AIPAC, the Israel lobby, Saudi Arabia, all that stuff, all the people that she's in cahoots with. And don't be surprised if any of these other Democratic candidates say the same exact thing. Now, when it comes to pushing for the same kind of stuff that like Trump is, no, they're not going to use the same kind of rhetoric, but they're going to definitely use the same kind of tactics and, shooting down drones and shooting supposedly drones that are on certain parts of Israel's territory or whatever, near Israel's borders or whatever it is. That's what I think America claimed, that Iran was sending their drones near Israel's border and then one against and near one of the American ships or something. So yeah, but my overall point is that these celebrities and these different donors and the people that are like rich donors and celebrities, they don't care about the policies. They want to push for what the identity is. They want to push for the first gay president, or they want to push for the first female of color president or female president, whatever. They want to push for the youngest person to run because the two old guys, like she said, attacking Biden and Bernie, the two old guys, I can't believe they're ahead. We have all these wonderful female presidents. We have all these wonderful options. Why aren't you going for them? Maybe because their fucking policies suck. Did you ever think about that? Like, that didn't cross your mind? Of course not. You're Kathy Griffin. You're a moron. And you don't know any better. You don't know anything about policies. You don't care about policies. Your whole goal is to care about, just electing whoever pleases the standard of this person is going to be this skin color, or this person is going to be this heritage, or this gender or sex, or what, that's all they care about. Oh my God, we have the first gay president. How wonderful would that be? Yeah, the first gay president who speaks 6 languages, and yeah, that's so fucking wonderful. I mean, seriously, these are the priorities you care about. That's what people are looking for in somebody like Pete Buttigieg, being the first gay president who speaks multiple languages. Wow, fucking wonderful and fascinating. I wouldn't even give a shit if the guy could speak fucking Farsi. I don't care. I'm Persian. If my president, if there's a candidate on that stage who's Persian, or he speaks Persian, he or she speaks Persian, I don't give a shit. If their policies suck, then they suck. That's the main thing. I don't care what languages they speak. I don't care if they're gay. I don't care if they're female. I don't care if they're male. If you bring me a female version of Bernie Sanders, I will vote for that person in a second, in a split second. Tulsi Gabbard is somebody I would vote for. If Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was running, I would vote for her. If Rashida Tlaib was running, I would vote for her. If Ilhan Omar was running, I would vote for her. All these politicians. If Mike Gravel is another guy, he's another candidate, that kind of a progressive candidate that he's not even being allowed in that fucking debates. But Mike Gravel is another great guy. I would vote for him too. I don't care, old, young, white, black, yellow. I don't give a shit what you are. Brown, Middle Eastern. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's what these people don't understand. They don't care to actually look into the policies. Now, she knows, obviously, I'm surprised Kathy Griffin even knows about Medicare-for-all. So obviously she knows about the policies. Obviously she knows about socialist countries, socialism. She knows about these things, but she doesn't give a shit about those things being implemented. And if they are going to get implemented under her, in her mind, under her plan, under her fucking fantasy country, it's going to be very pragmatically and very slowly and very, responsibly. This is the thing. That's the thing these politicians believe in. They don't believe in doing anything revolutionary because they don't want to get, like I said before on earlier segment, I just realized recently that a lot of these, supporters of these centrist candidates, they don't want anything to change. And, they don't want things to change revolutionary in a revolutionary way, They don't want to revolutionize anything. So when it comes to the celebrities, it's a little bit different. They just don't want to get taxed more. They don't want to get, they don't want to have to give more taxes to the government. They don't want to have to pay, pay for building more roads and bridges. They don't want to pay for, funding people that are in student loan debt. They don't want to fund our healthcare system, our ridiculously pathetic healthcare system. Our, like I said, roads and bridges. Our infrastructure gets a grade of I think it's D minus. They don't give a shit about that. Obviously, they're the ones that are the richest out there, and they don't give a shit about about fixing those problems because they're already well off. They don't need to help anybody because they're doing wonderfully. What do they care about student loan debt? What do they care about healthcare? They can pay for their healthcare. It's paying for healthcare for them is like a drop in the bucket. It doesn't mean anything for them. But for people like you and me, we have those issues. We have to focus on those issues, and those are things that we need to focus on and make sure that they get through instead of worrying about pragmatism and not having a revolution. We need a revolution because we need to get over the fact that the last, I don't know how many years now, 34 decades, we've been getting fucking screwed, and you got a bunch of Gen Xers and celebrities and corporate donors out there trying, getting in our way and preventing our progress. So as progressives and leftists and responsible, at least Democrats, the few number of responsible Democrats out there, we got to get together and trying to defeat these people and not let their fucking millions, influence our system, let alone their stupid ass opinions, trying to convince us to, go the other way, unless they're right. If they're right, that's a different story. That's why I support the celebrities, obviously. That's, our Bernie supporters. But, if you got all these, Harris and Elizabeth Warren and stuff as supporters, smearing Bernie Sanders supporters as, as being just like Trumpers. What kind of shit is that, man? Like, how the hell are we like Trump supporters when we're pushing for socialist policies? We're pushing for policies that are far left. And it's funny too, by the way, before we finish off here, I just want to say one last thing. She references those 4 congresswomen, the squad, from Justice Democrats, referring to the how they're pushing for Medicare-for-all and pushing for socialist policies. But then, and those are the people that were, put together by Bernie Sanders's, our revolution. They were supported by Bernie Sanders. They work with Bernie Sanders. They're socialists just like Bernie Sanders, democratic socialists just like Bernie Sanders. But then she says, oh yeah, well, why? How dare you attack them? When they're just pushing for, these wonderful policies, Medicare for all and stuff. And that's what Kathy Griffin basically said there. But then she smears, Sanders supporters because they go after her when she pushes for policies that are bad. I don't see her pushing for Medicare for all, but I think in this regard, she was only mentioning Medicare for all because she likes those 4 supporters who are getting attacked by Donald Trump. Was she standing up for those four Justice Democrats when they were getting attacked by Nancy Pelosi? No. She didn't give a shit when Nancy Pelosi was going after them. She didn't say anything. Neither did any of the Democratic loyalists out there. But when Donald Trump started attacking them, now they're going on their side because he's attacking them in a racist way. Then he starts. These people start speaking out. But when your precious Nancy Pelosi says something, oh no, shh, don't say anything. We have to be on Nancy Pelosi's side no matter what she says, no matter what she does, no matter how much she screws over the Justice Democrats and says demeaning remarks about them and looks down at the nose at them, all that stuff. So us being Bernie supporters being like Trumpers is absolutely ridiculous, and it's totally like it's based on nothing just because we're going after you in the same way, calling you out on social media like Trumpers do. Okay, big deal. There's a lot of people doing that. I've dealt with a bunch of Hillary supporters that have gone after me. I've gotten my account on Twitter suspended because a bunch of Hillary supporters went after me and reported me and shit. Same shit happens to everybody. So stop fucking acting like you're a victim. Kathy Griffin, you and the rest of Deborah Messing, Kathy Griffin, all these idiots, Chrissy Teigen, all these idiot resistance females that think they're holier than thou, and they know what's right for the country because they want to get a woman in there as president. So you want to get a woman in there? Get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Ilhan Omar or somebody like that, or Rashida Tlaib. Get one of those people in there. Give them higher positions of power so they have more influence instead of these assholes like Nancy Pelosi and, Kristen Gillibrand and Klobuchar and all those people, Kamala Harris, whatever. Fucking corporate Democrats galore. So those are the only ones that the likes of Kathy Griffin won, and it's never going to change.